Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday night, so it is time to get back into all things Westeros. And the one who talking dragons with me today is the one, the only, the realest Targaryen. What's good, fandom?
It's all about them dragon tales. How we doing, DJ? How we doing with this week's not about to say Game of Thrones.
Got away with
House of
it
the
right.
Dragons.
Oh, I don't know. Did we get our first filler episode? Was this the slowest episode? Did we love it? Did we hate it? How are you feeling about it in general?
Man, Jake literally added me on Twitter before I even watched the episode, saying that at one point it was rated 9.7. And I was hyped as hell for this episode. Like, hold up, 9.7. This might be like probably the best episode so far in this series. And I'm watching, I'm like, were they rated this so high because it had so much sex scenes in this damn episode?
Yeah, the Giant Tamer read something online. She said, "What happened on the House of Dragons?" She said they're saying it was like the hottest sex scene ever, or the greatest sex scene on TV of all time.
Between who?
Exactly. I was like, "Are you talking? Are you talking about Alicent and Viserys?" Like, I don't know. But yeah, that was ridiculous. I don't see how it got so much hype, but it seemed a little crazy to me. What's up, Jay Cruz? I see you out there. We got the Imagination Realm in the house. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all the hype was about. It was the slowest, but it was good. Absolutely, I agree. It was still good. It's still one of the best things on TV, but I do feel this episode was a little bit slower than the rest. How about you?
It was slow, but it's one of those like it's too good to be true filler episodes that were good.
Absolutely. Like I said, still the best thing on TV. I'm still pumped. I'm still excited. And I'm still all in on all things House of the Dragon. And we're about to talk about it. House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 4. And this one was King of the Narrow Sea. And how sad would it have to be to sit there and listen to Lord after ancient, not so ancient Lord just boast and brag about themselves and why they'd be the best match for your hand. And oh, the princess was not happy in the start of this one.
Especially the first one, who was literally older than her father. And it's like, what? Get out of here, man. And then the
Oh,
next one was literally like the youngest, possibly the youngest one on that line. But hell, he proved himself in the end when he
right?
killed that one guy. I was like, oh, shoot. If I saw that, I'd have been like, okay, I'm not going to marry you. But when you grow up, kid, come
I'm
be
telling
part of
you.
my crew.
Hey, when you said you were going to keep me safe, I see you are correct. Look at you handling your business at such a young age. You're going to grow up to be the man. Absolutely. And that was quite the selection that the king had provided for Rhaenyra to choose from. But why did he have to be involved at all? He told her that she could choose her own husband. So why is he making the list?
I mean, he's not lying. He says you're gonna choose, but you're gonna choose from the list, that I just put together, that I just, gathered up, and you know what? Here you go,
Right.
choose, and none of them is it.
How is that her picking her own man? But yeah, I mean, I guess in the end, here's 100 of the best I could get. Like, choose one of them. She still got to, but you shouldn't have been making that list. She should have. And who knew that the little one had such game with steel? Like you were saying, that little Blackwood boy held it down against that Baratheon. Like, if I'm keeping count correctly, like that's 0-2 for the Baratheons. King Bobby would not be pleased.
Very much, and it brings a smile to my face. You listen to this, Johnny, yet again.
Actually, though, I don't even think that was a Baratheon. I think that was just a faded out sigil. I think that was actually a Bracken and the Blackwoods, like kind of showing how their feud has gone back through the beginning of times.
Oh, sure. So is that how it started then?
Yeah, I think. Well, I think they were already up in arms because they were both from the First Men and the Riverlands, and they've been feuding back and forth about who should be dominant since the start of time. It seems like.
Hmm.
And then we get Damon showing up after winning the Stepstones, and it had the court like all aflutter. But all was well as soon as Damon offered up his wooden crown and bent the knee. And is Damon begin? Is you think he was being genuine with all that, or was he just here to rub it in that he got the job done without the aid of his brother?
Hell to the no. It was just rubbing it in. He was like, oh yeah, I've come to, bend the knee and give the crown over. Bullshit. I did this all by myself without that. What was it? 20K of men that he was gonna send to go help save him, or was it two? Was it 2K? It was one or the other. Again with a 2 and 1,000 to go
Oh,
help him out.
yep. Jake and Imagination Realm with me. That's a Bracken, not a Baratheon. Yeah, I think that
Okay.
I think that's exactly what it was. Them showing that feud, that age-old feud that they've always had. And I like how they show the dragons like close together, like the king and his brother, just as Otto stood by himself off on the sidelines. Like, little did we know how much foreshadowing this little scene was.
Hmm.
Awesome. And it was nice to see the brothers hug it out. Even Rhaenyra looked confused, like, whoa, these guys getting together? Like, people aren't used to seeing that. Has Damon truly changed his ways, or is he playing the long game for the throne, do you think?
Long game. We all know what Damon wants. He wants the Iron Throne, and he also wants something else, which we, see as the episode progresses.
And is that true? Like, does he have true love? Like, is that mainly even he does love his brother in his own way, and he obviously has shown that. But it
Hmm.
seems like Rhaenyra is the one he loves most. I think like that's real. I think he is in love with her.
It kind of was like hinting that since like even like the first episode, even because haven't they always been like talking to each other and like high a majority of the time with their scenes together, giving her that gift?
That pimped out Valerian steel necklace. Hell yeah! Like not everybody gets one of those. So I mean that is showing true love, and it's real hard even back then to get Valerian steel since the Doom of Valeria. And first off, did we all notice how the king can't even wear gloves without looking all messed up? Like got the ring and pinky finger just jutting straight out of his gloves because he has no fingers to bend them.
I didn't notice that.
Oh
Interesting.
man, yeah. Like when you see him, like his gloves, like he can't move. These two fingers are sticking out because he has no fingers in there. So it's just off. I was like, I
I'm
don't know.
surprised you didn't get like some type of like wooden fingers or something to make it appear like nothing is wrong.
Something, yeah. It's like, oh, they're just chopping him up bit by bit. And second, again, why be mad at Rhaenyra for leaving the tour early? Like I said earlier, you said she could pick her own match, so she should be out there picking her own match, not sitting there in this long ass line, like waiting for all these no gooders trying to come in and get it. It's like, dude, like she said, none of them love her. They only want the throne.
Hey, granted, she wasn't gonna pick any of them because we all know how she feels about marriage. But hey, have some respect. Your father did all this time and effort to gather this whole damn tour. You might as well just sit through every single one, like she said originally, until supper. Didn't happen. She
Uh,
left early.
she, she could not be bothered. I've had enough.
Unless she sensed her future husband coming.
Oh, is that what you think it is?
Possibly.
Well, I don't know about that. I think she's just tired of it. And I'm glad how they touched on that, how this episode, why she is so against finding a match, because she thinks that marriage is just pumping out heirs for other lords. And she already saw what happened to her mother, and she doesn't want that happening to her.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, when you see your mother die and know your mother died trying to give the king more heirs, and you think that's what your, legacy is, of course you're going to fight against it and keep it and push it off as long as possible because you don't want that to happen to you. And in her mind, that happened to my mom. It's going to happen to me. So you can't be. I mean, I'm glad they touched on that and showed her like why she is so against getting married because she already knew that's her duty. She's going to have to do it, but man, not when she sees what the outcome is. Viserys is always asking for more wine. Who do you think drank more, him or Cersei?
Oh my gosh, really? We all knew Cersei was bathing in a pool of wine. Is that even a question?
Oh, I don't know, man. Viserys looks like he gets it in. I'm not trying to say he can drink as much as Tyrion, but he might give Cersei
That
a
was about to be
go.
my next one right there. Like, nah, it has to be Cersei. Actually,
Oh,
a good one would be Viserys or Robert Baratheon.
see you later. Oh yeah, that would. I don't. Oh man, I don't know. I think Bobby B could almost drink Tyrion under. Like it's what it is. He, uh, yeah. Tyrion can drink anybody under the table, I'm pretty sure. But Bobby B, I think, would drink Viserys under. I think Viserys and Cersei is pretty close. Cersei is in her cups, but it seems like King V is too. So I don't know. I think it'd be close. I think you'd be out of liquor one way or the other hosting neither one of them. They're gonna run you out of wine. Why is Allison acting new? Like Rhaenyra should be happy she gets to pick her own suitor. She's only picking from a list that her father made. And also, of all people, you know how shitty it is for your father to pick your match. Like she got to be queen, and she still hates it. So why would she think Rhaenyra would be so happy for that?
First off, I know it's been like a 2 month time skip since the previous episode. How come they all suddenly like buddy up and whatnot here?
It's
Like
been a
literally,
year.
is it been a year? I thought it was 2 months, or is it
Uh,
2 years?
it's been a year because Aegon, it was Aegon's second name day, and now then this they made mention that he was 3 years old.
Oh, okay, I didn't notice that.
So it's been a
Okay,
year.
so it was okay. Yeah, I see in the chat it was a year. So yeah, so another time skip happens, and now they're all buddy. And then when she like goes away and sits in that chair, then she follows, and they're all smiling, giggling, and all that crap. I'm like, what the hell just happened here? Like y'all were just like neck to neck in previous episode, and now a time skip happens, and they're all buddy. So it's like again, you're making these time jumps, and we're missing some info here. Come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it just boils down to like Allison said, she's like, I feel like I don't have any friends. Like she wants to be friends and she wants her best friend back. She feels alone and she's stuck in this castle and she just wants her friend back, somebody she can talk to and be sisterly with. And it was coming down to even before. She was like, she ends up acting more like a mom by the end of this than she does a friend. So I don't know. She's got to figure it out. Queens and kings don't make friends. I mean, you're royalty. Everybody's looking up to you, so it's a whole different ballgame. I loved it. Ooh, excuse me. I loved it when Rhaenyra accidentally, on purposely, laid out for Alicent that yes, how romantic it must be to be locked in a castle for nothing more than pumping out airs. Like such a great verbal slap to the face. Like over here talking all this mess. Like I should be happy. Stop it. But
Yeah,
also
it's
like
kind of like even foreshadowing to later on, because then we see like one with her own mother, and two how she pretty much end up becoming pretty much a prisoner.
exactly, and that's what it is. Just a prisoner in a gilded cage. A nice golden gilded cage. But you're still a prisoner. You're still not out there doing what you want to do. You're still not out there living your best life. You have to act queenly the whole time, and you have to be proper, and you have to do what's expected, and a lot less or a lot more than what you actually want to be doing.
She just want to be Lady Allison, and she's not. She's the queen now, and she doesn't even believe she even has friends anymore.
Exactly. But I do kind of like how they did that, how they're mending the fences between Ray and Allie before the whole green and black dance thing goes off. Like they got to butter us up and soften us like, oh, maybe they will be friends. And you just know what's coming.
But if only I seen more of it, though. Like only some incidents that happen to be like, okay, we're friends again. But it's like, because that time skip, it's like it just came out of nowhere.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Looks like we got another one. Welcome, AK. So looks like you're feeling better. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing today?
And technically not feeling better, just the sleeping pain pills have not completely kicked in like I thought they would.
Not from the maester, though, I don't trust those maesters.
Yeah, nah, I don't trust them fools, nah.
Make sure you're drinking the right potions because you never know what they be slipping in.
Nah, see, I don't trust the red woman either. No, I get all of my stuff from old Nan.
Oh man, exactly. Oh, Jake says sounds better than working in the mines, but still, if you've known nothing but being a princess and royalty and being spoiled your whole life, and then all of a sudden you're being told what to do instead of actually being able to pick, I mean, it's still not easy. I mean, it's different levels. Of course, it's not as bad as working in the mines, but you're still not going to be happy because it's what you know. You're used to being spoiled and getting your way. Oh man, I also like how they spell it out why Rhaenyra is so against marriage. Like I was talking earlier, like we see her, she's scared to death. She thinks what happened to her mother is going to happen to her, so of course she's scared of marriage and getting it. Like it killed her. Rhaenyra, like, fears her fate may be the same. So you can't be too mad at her, and I'm glad they touched on that and showed us why she hates it so much, or why she's so against it. The small council and its never-ending woes have burdened the poor King Viserys again. Like there's word from Old Town that Corlys plans to wed his daughter to a Bravosi. It's like they don't want that. They don't want those two syncing up and being able to come against the crown. So we already know they're gonna have to figure something out with that, and you already know what they're gonna be figuring out with it. So that's ruthless. Rhaenyra is getting married. That's just that. If I were Rhaenyra,
what pisses me off about that, just
what's
real
that?
quick interjection. Here, this is like the third time something has been brought up about a marriage with House Valerion. And now that it's gotten this dire to where you actually can see the threat of not taking care of them and giving them the come up that they have very rightfully deserved, you're being told here. Again, why was this not already shored up in the plans? How many times do you have to keep getting told? Viserys is a fucking bitch.
Oh,
Plain and simple.
He's always trying to make everybody happy all the time, and you just can't do that. You make some of the people happy some of the time, but you're never going to make all the time.
And he's almost like being a yes man for everybody, except in the times when it's actually needed. Shit has to go way left for him to pay attention.
Unfortunately.
Just wanted to put that out.
If I were Rhaenyra and Otto brought up needing to offer up their own marriage pact to the free cities, I would have grabbed Daddy's dagger right then and there, put it to Otto's throat, and said, "And who exactly do you intend on offering up, sir?" Like shit, like you ain't being slick. We all see you coming. Oh, I'm so glad that you pointed that out.
Question.
What's that?
Can I ask a question real quick? What do y'all even think about Rhaenyra in these meetings? Because to me, it doesn't seem like she's being properly coached or schooled. as the heir that's supposed to be learning this position.
No,
And I think that plays into why she seems to be more aloof than normal while going through like the whole suitor thing and trying to pay attention and set up stuff for the future, set up relationships. Not she's old enough to where I think she should know some of these rules already, but if she's not properly being trained and honed in the right way, what's the point? Like you can't even be mad if she don't do shit.
I think it's kind of a baptized by fire. Like she got thrown in the deep end and like swim. Like she's not young anymore. She's not the cupbearer to just be there and listen anymore. Like she's actually got a seat at the table because she's next in line, and it's time to learn on the fly. You better learn quick. Like,
And yeah, she's not utilizing it.
Not really. When he's giving advice, it's always like off to the side or something.
right.
And when
Or
she's like
screaming at her.
talking back, yeah, it's always in the again to the side.
Or screaming at her like, I have to do it too. Like, you're not the
Mhm.
only one. Like, this is about the kingdom. And then we see why Viserys is so upset. It has nothing to even do with the realm. It's about the prophecy that was promised. Like, this is bigger than the realm. Like, you need to get your shit together and be ready to handle this when it comes. Like, he is all in
That
on
just
that.
reminded me. That just reminded me of something else. Viserys knows this shit is coming.
Mhm.
The only other house that has dragon riders is House Valerion. The only other house that has blood from old Valyria is House Valerion. If you really trying to make the strongest matches for your family and y'all's longevity, why is everyone not marrying into House Valerion?
That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
question.
It makes no sense. Again, you're passing over the absolute best match for your bloodline. Why would you do that?
Smart. Not thinking of the big picture. If that's the thing you're the most worried about, then exactly. Why isn't every match like that? You need more dragons, not less. That's why I looked at old boys like, do you have dragons to offer? Because if not, you're not even in this conversation. Like, we got bigger things, bigger fish to fry.
Yep.
Oh, Imagination Realm thinks he's on his way to the Mad King status. What do we think about that? Is that are all these cuts giving him tetanus, or is he going a little crazy, or what's going on with that? We think he's on his way to Mad King. What do you think
No,
about that?
I don't think it's Mad King at all. I think this is just more examples of him not really being a fit ruler.
Or just not being able to make that hard decision, the ones that need to be made. Oh, that was definitely
Yeah.
a learning experience out there, and we're going to talk about it when she's out there with Damon. But yeah, that was definitely a real learning experience on a few different fronts. That was amazing. And then we get another visual of Alicent being trapped in a castle raising heirs, with the contrast to Rhaenyra getting a text to hit the town with her favorite uncle. I was like, that was dope. It was almost hard to believe a girl as adventurous as Rhaenyra had no idea that she had a fake wall and a secret door in it. Like, is Damon really the only one in the show that knows about the secret tunnels fandom?
It seems like it, because literally in the first episode we see him like hiding behind, like what was it, a screen
Behind the
or pretty
small
much
council
behind, yeah.
change, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think. I think he might be the only one that knows. And yeah, we're going to talk about that. But yeah, I think he might be the only one that creeps it. But how does the king not know? I mean, hasn't he been around? Or I don't know. It seems like some more people should know about this.
You gotta wonder, because yeah, Arya found those all on her own, like within the second week she was there.
And speaking of Arya, was anybody else having some throwback visions of Arya Stark when Rhaenyra was making her way through those secret corridors dressed as a peasant?
That's exactly what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
It looked I was like, oh my god, it's like little Arya running back through there in her day. Like, that's exactly what I got. That's funny you just said Arya right then. But unlike Arya, she actually likes it when a passerby called her a boy. Like, I was getting some Dothraki vibes when they were walking through the streets of Westeros. People just having sex right there in front of her and the Seven and everybody else, just kind of like they were doing in Vos Dothrak. Anybody else getting those vibes?
The whole thing was just weird. It actually, especially like once they got into the brothel, I don't know if y'all saw that Caligula movie that was actually like made by Penthouse. And for those of you younger folks, Penthouse was like another porn thing akin to Playboy back in the day. That was like their direct competition. But they produced a movie about the life of Caligula, one of the most cutthroat bloodiest emperors of Rome, and they had a whole ass menage a trois, freaking sex orgy on a boat thing, and that's exactly what all of this reminded me of.
Jake said it was flea bottom. You think that was flea bottom? Or
Yeah,
that was the streets
Mm.
landing.
you know that room stank though. Ugh.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, I think somebody would have discovered some of them things as a kid. I mean, how do you have secret corridors?
You would
Like I
think.
said, Rainier is adventurous. I don't know. You think Viserys was tapping the royal bathers the same way Hakeem's father was in Coming to America?
I can't stand you.
She's sitting there, all them bathers just sitting there trying to do it. She's like, "You have a much nicer touch." I doubt that. I know you're up there playing Hakeem's father in some of these instances. Oh man, it was telling for Rhaenyra to say for one night she wished to be free of the burden of her inheritance. Then immediately grab some food from a vendor she had no intent on paying for. Like it just shows how spoiled and like how unaware she really is. Like you spoiled little shit. This is why Damon has you out here trying to open your eyes to reality. Like how can she still be so clueless? Like she
I
really
wouldn't be.
thinks she can just ascend the Iron Throne and everybody's just gonna fall into line. Like so naive. What's up, Phantom?
I wouldn't call it spoiled now. Just a force of habit.
Yeah, I think she did it very purposely, knowing that she had to pay for it, but also knowing that she wasn't going to, because it was the thrill of the chase for her. This is her first time, like, on her own, just roaming around, chilling. She's in full disguise. Everybody thinks she's a boy. She doesn't have any cares on her shoulders right now, and she is fully embracing and playing the part. That's what I think that was about. Not just because she is spoiled and could do it. Because if that's the reason, why not take her hat off there and say, I'm the princess, you're going to give me this for free. And that guy's not going to tell her no.
No, she would have got mobbed and killed, and yeah, it would have been dangerous out there. Like, who knows what would have happened? And you don't want people
You
thinking like,
think
"Oh, the
so?
princess out here frolicking around." No, I think 100%. She's just used to seeing food and like, "Oh, that looks good," and wanting it, and just old habits kicked in. She grabbed it, went to eat it, and Damon was instantly like, "Hey, you little rat! Like, we pay for our stuff out here, 4 coppers." And she's like, "Oh shit, I'm not the princess right now," and that's when she threw it and ran. Like, I think it was
Yeah,
just habit.
he also had his still had his face well covered while saying all of that, so nobody recognized him. So I don't know. I feel like he was playing into that with her, but I mean, I suppose you can't see it differently.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Phantom? Which way did you see it? Did she do that on purpose, like just habit eating it, or was she trying to prove a point, like I can do whatever I want out here?
No, I said it as a habit, really.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's like she just did it, and that's why Damon had to remind her, "Hey, we're out here as peasants. You can't just be grabbing anything you want. We pay for food out here." And she's like, "Oh shit!" And then she just throws it and runs, and like, "Let's get it." Just having
I
some
do
fun being
agree.
free for a night.
This is kind of like
I
a kid where
do
it's
agree.
like they don't really think like, oh shit, I gotta pay for this. No, they're like, fuck it, let me just grab
Ooh.
something.
Now, Damon, the part I do agree with though is Damon is actually trying to teach her something, because
Yeah.
she's talking about how the small folks' wants will be inconsequential, and Damon's like, nah, bruh. They can name you queen, but they can also unname you queen. Pretty much was the gist of that conversation. But
That's why I'm
she's
happy
not
she
been
saw that
trained
play.
to notice that yet.
Absolutely. Imagination runs with you, AK. Thinks she wasn't being spoiled. It was definitely thrill seeking.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know. I think it
legit
was
think
just a
she was
slip
just
up.
playing in for the fun.
I felt like it was just a slip up. Like she's used to people holding out crates of food and her just picking what she wants, and she just went to do it out of habit. And like, oh shit, wait, I'm not the princess right now. I can't just take whatever I want. Because yeah, she could have easily just said, "I'm the princess, and I'll have this. You're my loyal subject, and I'll do what I want." And that person would have been like, "Yes, my queen, take it all." So yeah, I don't know. I just felt like that was an accidental slip up. But as Rhaenyra, like you were saying, as Rhaenyra's running away through the streets, she bumps into Sir Harwin, and he keeps making little cameos. Do they think? Do they keep showing him for a reason? Fandom? Like, is he going to have a major role by the end of this series?
It's possible, but for us, the audience, it's like that's one of the people we know. So it's like for casuals, just keep showing them.
They just keep bringing it up. What's up? What's up, AK? Is he going to have a major role by the end of the season? Is that why he keeps having these little? I mean, they're not just showing these little cameos of him specifically for nothing, are they?
Have y'all read Fire and Blood? I don't
No,
know.
but this guy has.
Okay. All right. So I'll semi censor myself then for fandom's sake. Stay tuned. Put a pin in that. There's
Put it
a
back.
reason.
I knew she was gonna
There's
say
a
that. Put a pin
reason
in it.
Harwin was looking at her, with the "oh shit, I see you, bitch" when she came back with the dead boar on a sling and blood all over her face from the hunt. My guy is a tad bit enthralled already. So yeah, I say just keep eyes on him. I mean, there's also a reason he let her go and kept her secret.
Speaking of my guys, one of my guys just hit the chat. My man Pete Easy in the house. What's up, brother? It's
My boy.
you, man.
What's good, Pete? Lovely
Great.
to see you.
That's right. And he didn't call her princess. He called her a little gray rat and told her to be four coppers, just really leaning into it. That was fantastic. I like the street. I heard a couple people not so into it and they thought it was a little excess, but I liked all the shots in the streets. I thought it was cool and it made sense to the story.
Yeah, because we got to see different parts of Flea Bottom. We for as much as we saw of King's Landing, there wasn't actually a whole lot of Flea Bottom that we saw.
And we got to see.
So I like this.
And we got to see the princess getting her eyes open to what her subjects really think about her, or what the people in the streets think about her. Because when you're out there as yourself, they're going to lie and just bend the knee. But out here, without them knowing you're here, you're gonna get the truth. And as you see, they're not happy about the new succession. And then back at the castle, Allison gets wakened by a servant letting her know that the king has requested her company, and she's all, "I just took my melatonin tea. Like, really?" She said the hour is late, and the handmaiden just looked at her like, "Yep, better you than me, girl. Let's go."
Better you than me. It's like 3 a.m. Like at this time of hour. Come on now.
Man, that scabby
My girl
old man
just laid down. She,
terrible.
you could tell she was a little relaxed. She was still worried about some stuff because she wasn't going to sleep right away. But she's still laying there, trying to be in her thoughts, trying to relax a little bit. And then the king requests your presence in his chamber. Ew. Like, bruh, I just gave you a sponge bath. Ain't that enough for the night?
Right?
That was too good of a
Fuck out
sponge
of here,
bath,
you
though.
and the fucking patchwork of scabs that is on this motherfucker's back. And also, I redub him King Viserys of the No Stroke game because you didn't get not one peep out of her, bro. Not one. He literally had to like grab her hand and rub on her cheek to make her pay attention again. And you could tell my girl was not with it.
Oh, that was terrible. Oh, we got Santi Major in the house.
Santi.
Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Crew all here. Glad everybody's hanging out. What do y'all think of the House of the Dragon so far? What did we think of this episode? Was it the slowest one? Did you like it? Where did it rank in the top 4 for you so far? Let us know in the chat. But yeah, that was just too much. Damon takes Rhaenyra from the streets to the brothel, and he had to know like people there were going to recognize one, if not both of them. So was that his plan all along? Like sully her name so the king may actually let him have her fandom?
Bro, he literally just yanked off her freaking hat. Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Wasn't hiding nothing.
And literally the people inside knew who she was instantly. Like, you saw everyone else, you're like, oh, shoot, that's the princess.
Absolutely.
And over there, that's Damien.
You know everybody's got her poster on their walls. Of course everybody knows that's a princess. Like, she is the kingdom's delight. Everybody loves her.
Also, I do like this fresh cut that Damien has. Reminds me of the 12th Doctor, so loving it.
I don't think it's even like everybody would know what she looks like being the realm's delight. I guarantee you she's never been to Flea Bottom, unaccompanied unless it was to go past Flea Bottom in a carriage. They know her specifically because Targaryens are the only ones that have hair like that. So that is what makes her stand out, and that's why he took her hat. And yeah, he did absolutely plan this. Whether or not he had planned on not being able to get it up and running away and leaving her in that place, I can't really say. But I mean,
this is strike 2 now.
You was a little bitch. Nah, you was a little bitch for leaving her there because legit at that point, anything could have happened to her. My girl, you literally left my girl with her pants down in the middle of a freaking orgy.
Brutal.
One that looks like, if you compare this to placement in Harry Potter, this is Nocturne Alley that you just dropped this chick off in.
Shoot. Oh no.
And now she got her drawers down. Everybody sees that Valyrian Targaryen silver blonde hair. And what the fuck? I mean, but I'm saying it was definitely still on purpose. It was definitely still on purpose because this is Daemon again being bored and wanting to mess with his brother. I don't give a whole lot of shine to Alicent, but when Alicent talks to Viserys about that, she actually called it right. Daemon was doing some fuck shit because it's gonna affect you negatively to bring you down in the people's eyes. That's his only motivation there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like Jake says, Damon's halfway nuts, so he's always going to be pushing the limits. Like that's why
Very
everybody's so
true.
scared of him. So I don't think he's quite Magar limits like Otto's afraid he's going to be. He's definitely up there. Like he's not afraid to push them boundaries. And how bad were we feeling for Alicent? Poor girl, just sitting there, just letting that disease-ridden, rotten body of a man grind all on her late into the night. Like, oh, you poor thing. That was awful.
And then and he got nerve enough to have no stroke game. Like, yeah, she's accepted she has to do this duty, but you could at least try to make sure she enjoy herself. I mean, did you even try to give her a little Lord's kiss down there before you went on this bullshit tirade that you're doing?
He was drunk.
Why are you not paying attention and seeing that she is not enjoying herself?
He did.
What the fuck?
When he actually looked up and looked into her eyes, she gave him that fake little smile, like, "Oh yeah, dear, you're doing it. Yay, God, you're hitting all the spots. Yeah, dear."
He was testing to see if she was still alive or awake, man.
Right, I'm saying though, right?
Oh,
like I gotta
man,
wonder.
brutal.
I gotta wonder what sex was like between him and Emma, because if this was your stroke game, how the hell did you even get her pregnant that many times?
I think it was different then because she, or maybe we don't know, like generally liked him, so maybe.
Sabi's like she was just hoping he would hurry up and finish.
Right. That was it. You could tell that by looking on her face, and that's probably one of the few instances where I can say I do feel some
He was
sympathy
making
for
grocery
Alicent.
lists.
But right, because you could tell in her mind she was doing every other thing except being there for the moment.
She was counting rat poop. Oh my
Anything would have been better to think about than his diseased ass on top of you. Ugh.
The way she was looking at the ceiling, I thought she was making chess moves.
She might have been doing that too. Shit, we don't know
Absolutely.
what Westerosi chess looks like. No, actually we do. What is it that damn game that Tyrion was playing with the fake Aegon?
Crevasse.
With Savas.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what she was doing.
I was getting my Queen Gambit vibes from her. I thought she was just playing chess on the ceiling. I was like, damn, she looks so bored, poor thing. Oh, it was awful. Damon said people go there to take what they want. Does he really want her, or is it just the throne that she promised? Like, do you think he's really in love with his niece, or is he just more involved in wanting the throne, AK?
Both. Because you can tell there was attraction as well as chemistry between them from the very beginning. From the absolute very beginning. And legit, that first episode, we saw Daemon put a harness on his dragon. When he put that necklace on her neck, he saddled his dragon.
Ooh, I like that. I love that.
That shit's gonna come back. There's a reason for this. Daemon might seem like a fool. It might seem like he's just all impulsive and shit. And yeah, he is impulsive, but the boy does have a plan. Just saying. Look, see, Pete, I'm saying. He probably has fucked up like that before.
Oh, shit. Oh, I love my people.
No, Viserys, no stroke.
Oh, man. A worked up Rhaenyra teases Sir Christian into her bedchambers and seduces him completely. And did he ever have a chance, fandom? Like, isn't it pretty much what a princess wants, a princess gets?
He probably has like a chance, but seriously though, how long it freaking took to take off that arm? Jesus freaking Christ. I think I literally had to skip it.
No such thing as a quickie. He's like, it's going to be a minute, but worth the wait.
And he was like saying, should I, should I not? Should I, should I not? At this point, you really were taking off your arm, and then he's like, should I not? I'm just like, dude. At this point, I had to fast forward it.
It's like, this is happening. Oh, well, at least you got the answer. I guess they did not indeed smash in the woods like I thought they did. They actually waited an episode and did it the next time. Called it early, but yep, they did not smash in the woods.
This was actually highly debated on Twitter Sunday evening and on Monday, whether or not what happened between them could be considered as rape. and me and the ladies and Kevin from Bat Productions, we talked about it last night. And if those roles were reversed, that's absolutely the narrative that would have come out. Yeah, he sat in there. They took the time to take off his armor, but at the end of the day, what could he say?
Yeah,
I mean, he might try to, yeah, okay, you trying to get your helmet back or whatever, and she locks you in the room. If he walks out of there without that happening, Rhaenyra could very easily crush his whole ass career,
oh yeah, she
and
can say whatever
he's
she
back
wants.
to the Dornish marshes right away. He knows that. He very firmly knows that.
I wonder how
So
But she's
I'm
not that
not
type
going to
of a
say
woman to do that,
exactly.
though.
Did you watch the same scene I did?
Yeah, but until that
She was
moment,
pissed at Damon and she got worked up, so she was going to get hers where she could get it. And he literally was the easiest mark.
like the imagination realm says here, though, they made a point of showing him lay his white cloak down. And I mean, I guess that's like how strange it is, because it says once you're a Kingsguard and once you're part of the White Cloaks, you're a White Cloak forever till death.
And you're supposed to be celibate.
So, well, yeah. So I don't know. It's like if you're supposed to be that for death, I mean, can you dishonor yourself out of it, or are you just there for life and they just give you shittier like guard duties? Or I wonder how that works out like that.
Yeah,
Oh, what's
dude.
up? We got a new name in the chat. Welcome, Shannon. Good to see you out there. Good to see you.
No, hey, Shannon D. Yeah, I
Oh,
just think it's a power play. Like, it's definitely not what we see in the scene with Alicent and Viserys, because very, very clearly Alicent doesn't want to be there, but she knows she has to be. To that degree, Christian Cole could maybe have said no, but all Rhaenyra would have had to do was go say, Dad, this dude fucked up. I made a mistake when I picked him. He's got to go. And he's gone out on his ass. And there goes his career, any type of good money he can make, everything gone. So he can't say no. Even if he thought about saying it, he cannot say no.
plus, did he really want to say no? I mean, you got the most beautiful woman in the realm's delight, sitting here just throwing herself at you. I mean, yeah, you can't
you
run that
see,
fast.
DJ, that is a perfect scene of me on the fence. I'm like, should I not? Should I not?
I mean,
Oh,
you can
you
see,
kidding
yeah,
me?
you can see it on both sides. I totally understand why people don't think there was any type of assault that happened, and I totally see why people do think there's an assault that happened. And yeah, if she were to go on trial in our day and age, it would be for sexual assault.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just crazy.
You
I
said,
think
I'm gonna say no,
PDD's
I'm
got it
going
like
in.
he's like, yeah, that's just what it is. You got the most beautiful woman, the princess, next in line to be queen. I mean, come on, who's saying no? You can't run that fast. I'm just saying, ain't nobody going on. But yeah, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. What's up, fandom? Would you let yourself be seduced by the princess, or would you decline? Too worried about being beheaded, so to speak, and you say you're just gonna be on the fence with that one?
First and foremost, I have to see be on the lookout. Like if anyone's gonna come in, doors are locked, then I'm be like, okay,
Make sure
should
you're
I do this? Because I know about all the status of, like I said, be celibate and whatnot. I took these vows. Then I'm like, but again, it's the queen. It's the realms of light here. Like what makes her, the realms of light.
Who says no? Who could it possibly say no? It looked
Said
like
what makes her the realms of light. Shut up, fandom.
oh, it looked like someone was getting their voyeur on through the walls. Was that just a different camera angle, or was someone watching the princess get her cherry pop? Because it looked like I saw a hand on the wall. Like, if so, was it
I would
Damon or
have to.
someone else?
I would have to go back and watch. No, we know it wasn't Damon. Damon passed out somewhere, flea bottom, and then woke
Well,
up
Damon left.
with Massaria.
Damon left. He could have known what he was doing, and he could have went back to look at her. Like maybe he was going to come back and finish the job, or maybe he just wanted to see what she was going to do.
Nah, that's not the gist that I got
So I
at
think they
all.
would have told us, or we like showed us like in a following scene or something like, "Oh, I saw you by the way, so now you're gonna be like a spy for me," type thing
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
princess.
So who was?
Like
If there
who would
was
have been
someone,
watching? Who would
That's
have
what
been
I'm.
watching though? Because like you said earlier, it seems like not a whole lot of people know about the Magar
That was my
routes.
setup for this whole question. So if it's not Damon, who could it possibly be?
Otto.
I mean, it could be an off-screen mushroom, or maybe that's a hint that we might actually see
A Mysteria?
mushrooms
Could it be Mysteria who was watching to see it, and that's why she set
in
it
the
up?
Red Keep.
Well, if
How
she
would
knows,
she get? How would she have been allowed to get in there?
if she's going to be the new Varys, maybe her little birds found it, and all of a sudden she knows about these little secret ways, or maybe Damon told her about the secret tunnels. Who knows? Maybe she just one way or another already knows about these secret tunnels, and she was watching, and that's why she's the one who set it up for it to go, and she made it sound like it was him and Damon, but it wasn't. It was actually she knows that her cherry was popped, so the princess can't really lie about not being a virgin anymore, but she's going to make it look like it was Damon and not somebody else. I don't know. It could be weaving, but like I said, it seemed like somebody's hand. It showed somebody's hand and on the
I
wall.
have to go rewatch the scene and
So
see if I see a hand. I didn't notice that before.
that's what made me see. I mean, it could just be a different camera angle, but the fact that it looked like there was somebody's hand there made me think that no, somebody's watching this, and this is going to come into play later.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check the work on that.
What's up, Chad? Anybody else out there see the hand? Savante Major
I
said
think it was
it's
just a
camera
different
angle.
camera angle.
Have we established there was anybody? Like I said, I think it was. I think
Yeah, we don't know.
maybe
I
not.
skipped the scene, so I wouldn't know.
But most of the chat just thinks that it was just a different camera angle. So
Yeah.
maybe it was, but I don't know. I felt like somebody was watching. I think that's going to come into play. I think somebody was definitely watching that. Did Damon set all this up so she would be spoiled, like I said, and so the king wouldn't want her or be able to send her to anybody else, and he'd have to take her because nobody else would want spoiled goods? Did
I
Damon
think it
set all this up
was
from
a
jump?
bit of both, educating her and at the same time he had his plans.
Well,
Mhm.
Otto had to love getting this juicy piece of gossip, but he should have known better. Like telling the king that that's not going to be a good look for you. Like he should have found a slyer way. Like of course it's going to make him look power hungry.
I'm saying, but see, and again, this is my beef with Viserys. You don't notice these damn things until other people tell you what is going on. And Otto, as smooth as he's been, like I agree there. How did you botch this up so terribly?
Yeah, you
should have anticipated this happening. But then again, we know he doesn't think that clearly because he thought Alicent was the shoe-in for everything. And it turns out that it's Alicent that convinced Viserys to not look at it like Rhaenyra actually did something wrong, but to put the blame on Daemon.
Either way, Otto knows he knows damn well how much Viserys loves his daughter, and he should have known this was not going to be a good looking goal for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see it actually was Mysaria who the little rat's working for. She sold the info to Otto Hightower. Did she do it just for money, or did she have like bigger plans? Like knowing this info would cause a divide between the king and his hand. Like, is she doing this for Daemon, maybe in a way? What do you think, Phantom?
Yep. Because like what was it the series saying in the first episode that Damon always just loves to torture Otto? So she could have been just a long play at Otto.
Like that. And it looked like Mysaria was about to tell Daemon something, but then she bit her lip and just walked away. You have any idea what you might have been ready to say, AK?
I do not, but I don't think I know a few folks were saying in Custom Coast stream earlier that they thought Mysaria and Damon were working together actually behind the scenes, but that doesn't track or make sense because she tells him, nah, I don't be sleeping around no more. You know, I ain't the whore of Flea Bottom anymore. I got other shit going on now. And she's basically like the low-key master of whispers. And, you know, she has this whole spy network that she's selling information to multiple people. I don't think it's just Otto. That you know, she trains her kids to hear. So I don't know if what she was doing was in Damon's plan, but he's probably gonna start trying to use her in some other capacity again because they haven't seen each other in a while. She straight up said, you know, that again, since you've been gone, blah 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 has happened. So it's been a minute since they've seen each other. There
Yeah,
was no
because
plan
the whole war
between
thing
them
that was
there.
going on.
Yeah, they were being pretty flirty about it. She's like, "You're my prisoner, just like I was yours." Like she was never really his prisoner. She was just going along with it, and basically he's doing the same thing. So yeah, I definitely think these two are on better terms than what they made it look like in the show. And I think she is trying to help him do what he needs to do. Like, I think this was a long play for him. Like, here, I just got your hand gone. You owe me, basically. He's going to come back a little bit later type of thing.
Interesting.
So I could see that. She's playing the long game, and I think it's kind of showing the contrast. Like, this whore from Flea Bottom has made her own way to do what she wants and actually put herself in a better position than what the princess is, who's being forced to marry somebody she doesn't want to. So I think that was kind of the contrast between that. I love the way the show's dialing it all out. And Otto really did look perplexed whether he should tell the king or not, but was he just working up the mustard to do it? Like, he could never keep that juicy tidbit to himself, or he was never not going to tell the king, was he, Fandom? Like, you can't get that kind of information and keep it to yourself. If he was going to tell the king, I just don't think he should have told him himself. He should have found somebody else to do it.
Yeah, he probably should have. The smart thing was someone else, but at the same time, he's kind of part of the family, so it's like, I'd rather tell you myself than someone else.
Because, I mean, they made it look like they showed a special scene of it kind of looking like he was struggling with it, like what to do. Like, is that the way you took it, AK, or was he just figuring out the best way to tell him he was always going to tell him?
Yeah, I think he was just trying to figure out the best way to broach the subject. He definitely wasn't going to keep that to himself. It serves him more if he tells Viserys about that than if he keeps the secret.
Just should have been smarter about it. And the king, of course, reacted just as we expected he would. Like, come on, Otto, be better. You knew this was coming. But why is Alicent so angry with Rhaenyra? Like, you think she'd be happy for her finding a way out of the trap she had stuck herself in.
I told y'all. I already told y'all. There's a reason. When you look at that scene with them in, I think they were in the Godswood, when they're talking outside, the look on Alicent's face is legit the look of, like, every girlfriend that I've had when they're pissed at you. To her, Rhaenyra fucked up because, you ain't supposed to be banging nobody. So it's the subtext that the actresses said that they played into very purposely, and that the director kind of coaxed them to play that, is that there was a romantic interest between the two of them. So now, at Alicent, in the grand scheme of things, for them, low-key gets passed because she is doing her duty. But finding out that you're a booby bae who's supposed to be back on good terms now, but you out here fucking who? What? What the fuck were you thinking?
Rhaenyra looked like a deer in headlights when Alicent said, like, what
she did. I'm saying.
Yeah. She was like, oh, shit.
I'm saying, like, people think that it's because Alicent is jealous because she had a crush on Daemon. Nah, the shit don't got nothing to do with Daemon. This is about Rhaenyra. These two girls definitely had a feeling for each other that was not strictly platonic. And yeah, this is, two low-key lovers that are having a spat.
Rhaenyra looked like she was scared right up until she said, were you with your uncle? And she was like, whew, thought you may have actually caught me in one last night. But no, out.
I'm saying, keep that in mind and run that scene back over again. You'll see a whole different perspective.
Alicent was acting pretty uppity about the whole thing. Like, the king's tried hard to find you a match, and so have I. Like,
and so have I.
Like, nobody asked you to find me a match. And again, as much as you're hating life, why are you so eager for me to get stuck in the same situation? And my husband won't even be a king, so what are you talking?
Exactly.
That's ridiculous. And I'm with King Viserys. Like, if it's a falsehood, why didn't Daemon deny it? Like, unless this was his plan all along, he's just letting it play out. Like, that's a dangerous game he's playing. Like, you might want to admit, no, I did not touch your daughter because you were playing with fire at this point. You're lucky you didn't have.
That was part of the plan. That was part of the plan to unsully her in some way. So now, no other lord, once the rumor gets out, if everyone does believe it, no other highborn match might come in. So your best bet is to go ahead and get her with me. And then it's not going to even be any problem. This is the tradition of our family and blah, 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 blah. Anything else of nonsense that he could have said to try to get to the goal he wants. But again, Viserys is a little bitch right here because this is what really makes him start thinking of who he could put Rhaenyra with. That would be most logical. And it's not Daemon.
Yep. And like Imagination Realm says he was going to tell him, but he should have done it in a different way. Absolutely. He came at it. I like that. Should have came at it from damage control versus just
yes.
That would have been way better. She also agrees with you. Alicent was definitely jealous, and I think it wasn't just jealous that was her bae. I think she was just jealous that she was out here living her best life and she never got to. I think that's
I think it's probably a bit of both, honestly. I mean, they're not mutually exclusive.
That's true. Alicent did not mince words. She was letting her know. And Rhaenyra controlled that conversation. Like, she's a
She
princess ready to
did.
be queen.
She
Knows what's
did.
coming.
I'm saying I don't like the kid, but Littlefinger would be proud here.
Absolutely.
She saw that shit going left and she spun it real quick.
Alicent had the mad face of Locke, but she was disgusted. She was not happy with her, that's for sure. It was Daemon's gold. He should have asked Ray. He should have asked Ray. If that was Daemon's goal, he should have asked Ray.
Why would he ask her? This is Daemon Targaryen. He don't ask people for shit.
And women don't have Rhaenyra doesn't have the end say. I mean, obviously, if she did, she wouldn't be in this predicament. So it's like, yeah, it's not. There's nothing she could really say about it. I don't know. I don't know why, but look at the words Alicent used, and a ladylike and queenly vocabulary went out the window.
Went out the window. I'm telling you, because she in her feelings.
Jealousy. You
she mad. I ain't supposed to be hearing about you riding nobody's dick. What the fuck is going on here? We done made up, and now we back to this fuck shit. You gonna be that petty about it?
He just says,
I mean, that's how I saw it, though.
I'm the rogue prince, bitch. I do what I can. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Good one, Pete.
Oh, but in the end, Alicent sticks up for Rhaenyra, and yet again, which is just going to make the end of this series, even all the more bitter. Like, she's trying her best to be your friend, but in the end, it's just not going to pan out. I don't think. Yeah, I can't.
They're doing their job. That's what I'm saying. When these young actresses leave, I'm going to miss them both because they are playing the hell out of these roles, and they have set up the adult versions of them coming in so spectacularly.
Absolutely. And then when Rhaenyra was walking into her dad's room, I still thought they were going to test her for proof of having been a maiden. Like, I actually thought she was heading to the maester's office right there. She looked all scared. I was like, ooh, they're about to give her a test and she's going to fail.
Nah.
But nope.
I'm pretty sure he knows that her cherry was popped at that point. So it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
Then the whole, well, you're the king, so you can everyone will agree whatever decree you're going to say regardless of if she popped her cherry or not.
And Daemon wasn't wrong with that. It's like, you're king. The people will believe whatever you say. Your word is law. Like, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. Whatever you say that's it. So, I mean, I get that part of it. And then I'm sure Rhaenyra, I mean, she got her cherry pop. She's not a virgin anymore. I'm sure she was walking around the castle just all aglow. Daddy knew something different. Something happened. So it may not have been Daemon, but Daddy knew something was different. Like, you just out here glowing, girl. Something's up. I know.
Yeah, true.
And then once inside Daddy's room, we see that that his dagger's in the fire, and we finally hear why it's so special and why he always has it near. Like, there's a secret message inscribed in it, and I was like, "Oh, bringing it back!" I thought that was dope as hell. What do you think about that, fandom? Getting that knowledge
about the Song of Ice and Fire
being inscribed on the dagger. Yeah,
still cringes me, man. Still cringes me.
Getting all these tingles.
You see, no, don't do that. No, I really dug that, but that's just because I have a great love of tinfoil. You know, from my line will come the prince that was promised. But we all know in High Valyrian, prince can be either prince or princess, actually.
And that's what I thought. Season 8.
And Arya is the one that wielded that dagger, and she's the one that took the Night King out. It's not going to be like that in the book, but if you combine the lore, that means that there's even something more extra that I missed in the Bloodline backtrack of Arya. Because it's not just House Went from Tullys and then from Lady Lofston. If the dagger was able to make its way to Arya, and let's remember, you know, the bullshit three-eyed raven that is Bran is who gave her that weapon. He knew exactly what the fuck was going to happen. So there might actually have been a random pact of ice and fire that we didn't know about, and, you know, that came to fruition. Tinfoil. That's it, but that's not the
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, still believing the elephant will turn on your Ray when she feels. Yeah, absolutely. The mama's going to definitely protect her children in the end. Like that's going to be the end all be all. So
Well, we saw the preview. Yeah, that's coming up very quickly. We saw the preview. Otto,
I didn't see
even
no
though he's been.
preview.
Oh, okay.
I've been
Well,
going ghost on everything. Only trailer I saw was the one that involved us seeing that first glimpse in the Iron Throne. So no trailers after that. Haven't seen any on the next the House of the Dragons. Haven't seen those. Been dodging everything.
no, you should watch them though. They're actually quite informative. And you know what, Jake? I totally forgot about that.
What's that?
I totally forgot. What was just up there? Damn it, where'd it go? We switched it out. Jake was saying something about sorcerers.
Oh yeah, the sorcerer's putting the power in the knife. He also said that the
Yeah.
sorcerer puts
Okay.
the power in
So
the knife. Well, he didn't. They
and
didn't
and
put power in
and
the
that
knife. They just inscribed the story onto the knife, like a little
yeah,
secret
but
weapon.
that still kind of ties in to the theory because, well, my theory, I guess. Dark Sister and the Cat's Paw are a set. Swords very often had accompanying daggers that their wielders had.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's why I think that Cat's Paw wasn't actually Aegon's; it was Visenya's. And Visenya is very much said to have been a master at the black arts,
Yeah, but he
as
said
they say.
specifically that it was Aegon that carried this dagger, and before him it was
Did he?
Aegon. Yeah, he said Aegon carried this, and before him Aenar, and before that, who knows? So we don't even know
Hmm.
where this dagger came from. We don't know where it
Okay.
started,
Okay.
but it was Aenar, and then it went to Aegon. And if anybody who doesn't know who Aenar is the father of Daenerys the Dreamer, the whole reason that
Yeah.
they got out of Valyria.
Yeah. He's the one that brought House Targaryen over to Westeros.
Yeah, because his daughter had the dream and he believed
Okay.
it. So he's
Interesting.
like, let's get out of
Interesting.
here.
So then, yeah, Blackfire and Dark Sister would have come after that. All right. I missed that part.
Yep. So absolutely. So we know for sure it was Aegon that wielded it, and before them it was
Interesting.
Aenar, and before that we don't know where it came from. I'm
So
guessing.
who's the who put the magic on it?
Well, I think it
Do
was
you think that was
Aegon.
done in Old Valyria?
Uh,
Because you said that it belonged to Aenar, so Aenar may have brought that over with him, moving from
oh,
Valyria.
he definitely brought it with him. Yeah, I would.
So yeah, and there's a lot of sorcery and science magic that goes
That's
on
what I
there.
think.
So
I think in the dooms and in the volcanoes and in those deep tunnels in Valeria is where it got forged. So it may have been
mm,
those faceless men who put this in there. They may be the sorcerers that actually inscribed this in there. We don't know.
that would be so interesting.
And they made a point of saying that, like Aegon had it, Aenar had it, and before that, we have no idea where it came from. So we don't even know. But I think he also said that it was actually Aegon that had it inscribed by the sorcerers to keep it going. So maybe
Hmm.
that was like he knew it came from Valeria, and he wanted to make sure that every king knew like what was coming, so he had it inscribed on there. So
Interesting.
this fire
Interesting.
may just did it. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, what's up? We got Tawny in the house. Welcome back. Welcome back, Chi-Town. Good to see you.
Hey, Tony.
Welcome back. Hope you're enjoying the show as much as we are. I feel like a lot of spent time together. Absolutely. Can't love
Mm-hmm.
being here.
You know what? Um, who do you think held that dagger? Like, do you think King Jaehaerys was walking around with that, or was it possibly Queen Alicent that was walking around with it, or that owned it during her time ruling? Because she's the one that gave us the new gift in the North, and repurposed some things where, as far as the Night's Watch is concerned, which is basically the first line of defense into the Seven Kingdoms.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like the dagger gets passed down from king to king. So it's weird that he only made mention of Aegon and Aenon, and nobody else. Because it seems
Hmm.
like everybody who's been king should have put hands on that dagger and helped kill us. So they're gonna have to touch on that more. Like, why is it only these three that seem to have held it? 'Cause, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he's even already told his daughter about it before she even becomes queen. So it seems like a pretty prominent thing that every king passes down to the next. So yeah, they're gonna have to touch on
To the next heir, yeah,
that exactly. And
or at
even
least to the next ruler, which I guess that's again why I think either Visenya or Rhaenys could have also owned it too. But
What's up,
We'll
fandom?
see
You have
what's
any
the-
ideas where that dagger was forged?
That's what I'm thinking.
Just wondering where it came from and who did it. Like,
Hey, when in doubt, just say
Definitely.
children of the forest, and then they just sneaked over.
that thing came over from Valyria. Like that's a Valyrian steel made from Valyria. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think it
probably
definitely came
forged right
over.
in the heart of Valyria.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I like that what you said. They had like a full forgery down in the mines. Also, it wasn't just them digging for rocks and being slaves. That's very interesting to think about.
So glad Rhaenyra brought up the fact that if she were male, she could have fathered a dozen bastards and no one would have cared. Like, I'm glad they brought that up. Like, everybody else that's going to be here can do whatever they want, but the fact that I'm a woman, I'm getting stuck like this, like,
That's facts.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So dirty, the double standard back in the day. I'm glad they brought that to light. And then Viserys says her courtship is over. She will be marrying Sir Laenor Velaryon. And hey, at least they can ride dragons together. Like, if she's going to get forced to marry somebody, she could have done worse than my man.
Here's a question: Does Corlys know this yet, though?
Nope. And,
Like,
and
like,
when I hear this, I'm like, is he even going to say accepted or anything? Because it seems like there's still bad blood between them, and he might be petty and
exactly.
be like, remember in the past when I even brought you this option and you said no? So hell, I could say no.
That's not going to happen. No way. Like, who's going to say no to the Rhaenyra? Like, she's going to be queen. She's beautiful. The realm's delight. Ain't nobody's turning their nose up at that.
I mean,
I'm not buying it.
but again, though, why did something dire have to happen for you to make this connection? And actually, it's highly likely it's going to happen double fold.
Oh, you never know what they're going to do, Tony. They might get the children of the forest out there yet, especially the way this thing's blowing up and everybody's kind of back all in on dragons. You never know what they're going to end up
We
on.
probably could get it, but just within either a different series or some shape or form. Like if we're gonna get the Jon Snow or any other prequel series, they might just weave it in, like a flashback scene or something. Who knows?
Definitely. Impossible.
Yeah, there's shoot, where'd that comment just go?
I think they already came.
I see they can have
Yeah,
it within this series
what
since they
Tony was
mention
saying
up.
about the Children of the Forest prequel. That was what the Long Night series was supposed to be, but because they were idiots and no one actually sat down with a free thought and realized that the Children of the Forest being turned into the Children of the Forest because of tomfoolery magic, when all of the cast members that you were going to put in those roles are black, magic has to change them to be something else. There's a whole lot of issues that can arise with that. And that's why that show was canceled, and rightfully so, because it was a whole ridiculous premise.
What, the children of the forest?
The way that they were going to portray how the Children of the Forest became the Children of the Forest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they'll put some more work into it. But like I said, they're as long as the money train keeps going, they're going to keep it on the track, and they'll make whatever they need to keep it coming. As long as we keep watching, they'll keep pumping it out. So hopefully, they keep it up to these standards. There.
Yeah.
I'm glad Rhaenyra sees right through Otto Hightower and got a little pre-wedding gift from Papa. He's like, I'll marry the Valerian boy as soon as you do your duty as king and get rid of that punk hand. Like, not the one you're chopping fingers off of, but that other man standing right there. I was like, get it, girl. Like, she's going to put it right in your face, and that's exactly what needs to be said, too. Like, no, I'm tired of this. And she was spot on 100%, and he knew it, so that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hightowers are obviously in league with the Maesters. Like, Viserys' dad was gone before he got started his hand. Like, he said tournaments last longer. And then Otto got the job. So do we think that Otto had Viserys' father's poison? Like, he was, like, as healthy as a horse. He rode the largest dragon alive. Like, then suddenly he just dies of a burst belly. Do we think the Maesters killed him, so Balon, so Otto could become hand?
Of course, this man had some type of freaking hand in it. Unless he didn't, okay, this is luck, sheer dumb luck, as Professor McGonagall would say.
What do you think about that? Did the Maesters have Balon killed so Otto could be the next hand? What do you think about that, AK?
That's highly possible. Excuse me. I don't put anything past House Hightower. And I know you said the Maesters, but the Maesters are basically ruled by the High Towers. Where's the Citadel? In Old Town. So they are very much controlling all of that, and they've kind of hinted at that from that very first episode where Otto handed that note to the Maester and here send this to Old Town. That note's only going to one place, and that's straight to whoever the Lord of the High Towers is right now, which I believe is his brother, his older brother.
That's what which note is going?
That that the night of the funeral, after he got done talking to Alicent, somebody came in and he said, "Here." He wrote a note and said, "Here, send this off to Old Town."
Right.
So yeah, the Maesters are definitely a puppet show for the High Towers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, those two are hand in hand. The High Towers and the Maester, they're definitely.
It's all part of the plan. Knock out a bunch of dragons that we can't control or that don't need to be more powerful. And that, I think, is the number one reason they don't want Rhaenyra on the throne. Because Rhaenyra is going to pop out a bunch more even powerful magic blood babies and more dragon riders and hatch more dragon eggs. And then they'll never get the king back, the kingdom back.
Absolutely, yeah. Trying to get rid of these Targaryens. So yeah, it's been a plan since day one. Probably as soon as they saw like somebody married to two sisters, they're like, "No, we got to change this. Get these Targaryens off the throne."
Yeah, what did Marwyn say? Who do you think killed the dragons after the Dance of Dragons? It was the Maesters.
Damn straight. Otto was so wounded, getting shit canned. Like he's been hand longer than Viserys has been king. Like, is he just gonna tuck tail and go, or is he gonna have a couple FUs out the door before he goes, fandom?
Hell no. First and foremost, your freaking daughter is the queen. He's probably gonna get his status back anytime soon. Even then, we're gonna probably have a time skip to this point. Within this whole time skip, something's gonna happen, and he's gonna be the hand of the king again. And then we're probably gonna have like just a quick sentence or two, like, "Oh, remember the time I wasn't even hand of the king, and now I'm hand of the king again." Ironic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the High Towers definitely want all the power. Like they're playing the long game. They want to get their people back on the throne. They want the High Towers to rule it all. They're like, we already rule Old Town. We're already like a prominent family. We need to be back on that throne. Back in the day. Not going to happen. The Grand Maester ended up bringing Rhaenyra some moon tea and says it's from her father's request. Is that true, or did somebody else send it? Like maybe Otto or Alicent? Who do we think really had that moon tea sent to her? AK?
No, I don't think it was Otto, because by this time Otto had been fired. So I think that actually was Viserys. But now that you've mentioned Alicent, it might have been a prompt from Alicent for him to give that order.
But didn't she believe in Visenya that she didn't? So why would she ask the Maester? Unless I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, that's true. She said she believes her. She believes Alicent's not one, or she says Rhaenyra's not one.
Yeah, that's right. So, okay, so maybe Viserys made one smart move on his own here.
Clutching his,
especially after talking to Damien. So it's like, is Damien telling the truth? Is he not? Even when he was talking to Alice, and he was like, is Damien even like telling you the truth or not? So and he's like, well, just in case, by all means.
Pretty much. Yeah, because if he's gonna have a hard enough time dispelling rumors, but if she does actually be found to be with child, that's not gonna bode well for anyone.
Well, out of curiosity though, if she would have had a kid, with someone with lack of hair, would it still come out as lack of hair or not?
That depends on which family she's from, I think. If it would have been a Baratheon, we know Baratheon blood almost always trumps those lighter hair colors. So, and actually, who was it? Robert's grandmother or great grandmother?
Who was married
part
to
of House Targaryen? Yeah.
It started with Ori.
She had silver hair, but they all had black hair. all the kids after that wore black hair. So that never made its way into their genes.
But it was Orys who first married a Targaryen that brought the line together, while Robert had the best succession or best claim to the throne.
Horus? No, he didn't. No, he married the guy he defeated. But not the guy, but his daughter. Who was it? Who was it that was running the Stormlands?
I thought it was Orys.
What's his name? Was it Argalak the Arrogant?
That's the one that charged out and the Baratheon beat to take over Storm's End.
Yeah, and Orys married his daughter, not a Targaryen.
Maybe it was a different one. I could have swore looking through the. I have to go back. Those family trees get so confusing. But I thought through the family tree, I thought it was Orys who married a Targaryen, who brought the Targaryens into them, and why Robert had the best claim to the seat.
No, Orys was believed to be Aegon and Visenya Rhaenys' bastard brother. So he technically is half Targaryen. And when he defeated the Lord of Storm's End at that time, which I do believe is Argalak the Arrogant, he married his daughter.
Okay, yeah,
from that.
That might be right. Oh, so much to keep straight.
Yes, and Pete just said it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love J. Cruz says it may have been Otto, and Otto may have been the peeper watching her. So he may have known that basically she didn't sleep with Daemon, but she did sleep with somebody. So it still might come to terms that he was telling the truth about what it was, and whether
if
it was
he knows about the secret passageways, maybe.
And the hand of the king. That's something. I mean, he's got all these spies out there. That might be something he didn't know. So I actually like that. I love that. That could have been Otto watching it. And he knows that maybe it wasn't Daemon that deflowered her, but she is deflowered, so he can spin whatever narrative he wants because she's not going to tell anybody. So I actually love that. Oh, I think Alicent believes Rey, absolutely. So she did. Alicent will be mad when she finds out she lied. That could be another thing that sparks the split between them. Absolutely. Oh, she was already hurt, going to be mad. Oh, Rey. Exactly, Rey. Oh, yeah, that scene when Kristen Cole and the older Alicent was looking disgusted.
Yeah, because he joins Team Green after a bit once the whole conflict starts.
What if it was Sir Otto that sent the tea and it's not really moon tea and it's just something that's going to mess her up, and now he knows that he's right and that she's deflowered because she drank the tea and now she's all sick from it, and that was like his way of catching her in the lie. That would be something.
That could be possible. Or, the argument could be made that she drank it just so she didn't cause her dad to be any more angry about anything.
Christian Cole is a turncoat. He's about to turn on his hair by the end of this because we know by the end they do not like each other. And what's it going to be? Mm-hmm. How come he's going to be so mad? I don't know. Maybe, it's going to have to do something with this.
Yeah, it's always been a debate. Was it because he wanted to take her away and she rejected that? Or was it because she just got tired of it and said, bitch, be gone? So now he's mad.
Otto looks like someone who'd be a peeping Tom. So
he does. With his fucking greasy ass looking stringy hair and that fucked up beard. Dude, trim your damn beard.
I mean, she was getting banged. Christian, he would have said Christian's name. I don't know, because he might not want to get rid of a Kingsguard, so he might not want that kind of stain on the Kingsguard, so he might not have said it. And it could, it brings bigger discourse between the king and his brother if he plays it off like it was Daemon.
I agree with the imagination. I think it did just come from the series.
But Otto never wanted him, freaking what's his name, Kristen to be even like part of it, so he wouldn't mind saying his name.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have split that up, but like I said, once he's a Kingsguard and you're the hand of the king, and you're supposed to always protect the king against everything at all times, he might not want that stain on the Kingsguard that's having saying something like that, because that's a whole new thing. Now you got to come up with a whole new set of rules. You got to make sure it's always the older men and the more honorable that are always watching the younger princesses, so this doesn't happen. Like that brings on a whole new set right there. But yeah, as all in all, I mean, I think this might have been the slowest one yet, but I was still all in for it. I'm still loving it. How did we feel about it, AK? What did you think of this episode?
Oh yeah, def good story thing. You know, this could be considered a bit of a filler, but they're working it through, I think, with the bare bones of what they have. Because if you've read Fire and Blood, or The Princess and the Queen, or The Rogue Prince, there really isn't that much out there about how everything actually first got started. There's little tidbits in Fire and Blood and The Princess and the Queen, and that's it. So I think they've developed a good enough story with these characters that are very compelling to give us a more wide world view of it all and how it happened, how it went down. And I am here for all of it. I like it. I'm proud right now for this episode. I'd say 8.75.
How about you, Phantom? What do you think of this app?
I enjoyed it, even though it was a filler episode, but it's that good filler that you're like, dang, I didn't even know if this was damn filler. Because when you started this and you say it was filler, I'm like, was it?
Juicy.
So
It's the good filler. Yeah, them
yeah,
juicy breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
setting up some things, seeing how Granny was like lying. I'm like, hold up, you're lying now. But then again, it's the Allison, so like, who cares?
Yeah.
So let's see what they're setting up here, and just hope Otto dies quicker than later. So,
welcome, Huckleberry Bridge. Welcome. Good to see you out here. Absolutely, I love this one. It was a little bit filler, but they gave us some good nuggets. They answered a few things. I love that little thing they snuck in with the knife and how the story's like on the actual knife. If you put it in fire, you can read it straight Lord of the Rings style.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Actually, pretty dope. I love the way they did this. And what was that Pete said earlier? Oh yeah, like it's gonna be bad. Like, what's he gonna do having to go back? What's Hightower gonna do having to go back and talk to his brother about like,
Yeah.
man, like that's gonna be a problem. His brother's
oh yeah,
already,
he's the youngest. Yeah.
Yep.
he was like, you're already telling him like it's your job to make the king see otherwise. Well, I just tried to make the king see otherwise, and look where that got me, asshole. So now what? Now I got no job and no kingdom to hold and no castle to sit on. Like now what do I do, brother? Like,
So now it's on Allison.
and Allison is king, and that's going to be coming. I did see that on the previews when he's talking to Allison on his way out the door. Like, you already knew that was coming.
This is where it really starts getting to the nitty gritty. I'm looking forward to it.
Starts time to break it into greens and blacks here sometime soon, which means, I don't want no spoilers, but some things are about to start happening rapidly. That's for damn sure. Absolutely.
All I'm gonna say for our lovely viewers in the chat, and for anyone that might watch later, always bet on black.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. So that's going to do it for this episode. We got just a couple trivia questions. We're going to see which everybody remembers. If you know these answers, put them in the chat box. If you know these and you're watching this later, put them in the comment section down below. What captain did Rhaenyra want told to ready the ships when she was ready to leave?
Jack Sparrow.
Anybody out there remember the captain's name? She told Kristen to tell him get ready to the ships. I'm ready to be out. What captain was out there? Who was at the helm on those ships? Anyone remember?
I don't remember.
Deep cut right out of the gate. Oh, right out of the gate. That's a tough one. He said, trivia, I'm here. Let's go. Whose one is this one? He's like, here you go. Absolutely.
Right.
Easy. Let's see what you remember. Oh, man. See if you can get that one. Next one coming up. How much time was left on Princess Rhaenyra's tour for the match when she called it quits?
2 months.
Absolutely, 2 months. Back on track. Well done. How many Triarchy soldiers did Daemon say he left staked on the beach as a message for all who would follow?
Like 2,000 or over 2,000 or something like that.
Exactly 2,000. Well done, you. 2 for 2. 2 out of 3. There we go. Who gave King Viserys the new tapestries?
This I actually wrote down. Hold on.
Somebody from Essos?
Let me open my notes.
He said, let me just get to my paper.
Was it the Sea Lord of Bravos?
It was Norvus and Korhor.
Kahor, absolutely.
I
knew this question was coming. Let me just get out a pad and pen. Well done, you. Well done, you.
Oh, the chat knew too.
Oh, yeah, and Kahor. Yeah, you did. Good
nice.
job. Norvos. There you go. Kahor. Well done. Well done, said Zor. Oh, it's so weird. All right. That's awesome. To whom does Lord Corlys plan to wed his daughter?
Sea Lord of Bravos.
Yep, the Sea Lord of Bravos. Absolutely correct.
Powerful match.
Yeah, big one. Yeah, the king wants nothing to do with that. Viserys knows how much trouble that would be. How much did Damon say the snacks cost that Rhaenyra was just going to help herself to?
4 coppers?
4 coppers, indeed. Absolutely. Jake said it earlier in the stream. Well done, you. You knew that question was coming. Called it out early. Who did the dagger belong to before Aegon the Conqueror? I told you all earlier.
Aenar.
You know,
His
exactly.
great something great's grandfather.
If I wouldn't have brought that up, would you have been able to call that?
Hell no.
Yes. I remember that one. I dig the cat spawn, man.
There we go. How long was Viserys' father the Hand of the King?
Viserys' father.
How long was Balon Hand of the King before Otto took over?
5 days. Wasn't it?
You're
Oh wait,
right.
no. It was no. The 5 days came after, didn't it?
Final answer.
Damn. That's like less than Kim Kardashian's marriage.
10 years?
Oh, should have went with your first answer. It was 5. You had it. Nailed it right out of the gate. 5 days.
Wow.
5 days. He's like, 5 days. Tournament's long laster. It's like, wait, Viserys started thinking, like, wait a minute, maybe this man did kill my dad. And boy, he was on the fence there. Like, I should pluck.
I was very surprised he was making that speech, because that was not information we got from anyone else but him.
No, that was amazing. And absolutely, and when you think about it, like, this guy was healthy as a horse, rode the biggest dragon in the kingdom, had no problems. Then he becomes Hand of the King, and 5 days later, he's dead. And you become Hand, and you're all tight with these maesters? Wait a minute. Something don't add.
Mm-hmm.
Something don't jive. Who was King Viserys' father? Said it a couple times.
Mr. Harris was his grandfather.
Who was King Viserys' father?
Balon?
Absolutely, Balon. Remember what he's called? Balon the what?
The Bold.
No, it's not
Correct.
the Bold.
Oh, what was Balon's moniker? Anybody out there in the chat? Anybody remember Balon's moniker?
Balon the Bursted.
Balon the Bursted Belly.
He did die of burst belly. Yeah.
Balon the Bursted Belly.
Balon the Brave.
It is Balon the Brave, 100%. Anybody, who called that?
That'll be Imagination Realm.
Good on you. Good job, Balon the Brave indeed. And last but not least, this ended on an easier one. What dragon did Balon ride?
What was it? Valerian?
Oh, I thought we were ending on an easy one. What dragon did Balon ride?
Vhagar?
It was absolutely Vhagar, the biggest dragon left. The largest dragon left alive, Vhagar, after the Black Dread died. Vhagar. So Balon.
Ayo.
What's that?
Can I give a thought on one thing that I missed because I came in late? When Rhaenyra is seeing those suitors, and we get that intro Cliff Notes version of the beef between the Brackens and the Blackwoods. I don't remember what the little boy's name is from House Blackwood, but I respect the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets like 20 points. Nah, he gets 100 points to Gryffindor for that shit, because look here, Bracken, you ain't coming over here talking fuck shit to me while I'm trying to give the beautiful princess my little cup of tea, so see if she want to sit with me or not. And you know what? That was a classic case of fuck around and find out. Because Lowell Blackwood was not about to let you get away with the bullshit. And I knew we were going to see something good from this kid after Bracken said one wrong damn thing too many, and Blackwood didn't say shit. He just turned around and pulled his sword like, pull up, motherfucker, what? We ain't doing this game of words no more. Shit just got real. And what happened? Dumbass got his ass stabbed in the fucking gut. He might even die of a burst belly right now.
Oh,
so
he died of a burst
all
belly.
respect. All respect to House Blackwood, because, yeah, I bet you shut the fuck up next time.
Oh, he burst that belly for sure. He let him know. He's like, say it again. Call me a coward again. One more again.
Right. Say that shit one more time.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, he put it in, but yeah, don't
find out.
Jake said it right here. He said, don't bring a dagger to a sword fight.
Right?
You already know. I'm gonna talk
like you were really trying. And how embarrassing is that even? Because this little boy was skin and bones, and he Bracken probably had him on a good 4 inches in height. and you could tell he was decently muscled. This little asshole just came in here and fucked you the hell up and put
He
you
knew how to
literally
wield that
on your
steel.
back.
He knew how to wield that steel.
Yeah, absolutely. He had that.
Hey, Jackie C, we love to see you. Better late than never. So glad you were able to make it in. Oh,
Jackie
that's gonna
C,
do it.
my lady.
That's gonna do it for us tonight. Had an absolute blast with this one. Can't wait to see how it goes down in the next one because I think it is definitely about to go down. We got some royal weddings in the plans. We're gonna see some dragon riders hook up and take this show to the next level. So I'm all in for it. Don't forget, we're gonna be right back on here tomorrow. We're gonna be finishing up the Westworld series, episode 7 and 8.
Yes.
So for all my Westworld fans, come on back, and we're going to knock that one out tomorrow. And then, of course, Thursday, we're going to be back on with She-Hulk. So I hope to see everybody right back here tomorrow at the same time, same bat place, same bat channel. I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you tomorrow, be easy, everybody.
And to Otto, I say, you about to lose.